But we had a conversation and she said, Christina, I applied for 40 roles from your list of 100 employers. I know this list works. Please don't believe those who say remote jobs are dead. If we have not met already, I am Christina Butler. I partner closely with mid-career women to help them get clear on their next steps and land their six-figure remote opportunities because, yes, those jobs exist. I've been sharing these opportunities for over a decade now. And so I'm deep in this space, not just from that side as a career coach, but also as a talent acquisition and workforce development and dual certified HR professional. My top 100 list of remote employers every year for the past, I don't know how many years at this point. As a matter of fact, I started, I think, in 2014, 2015. I'll have to pull that list. I started sharing these opportunities and decided that this is something I'm going to do every year. I've been building this massive database of remote employers over the years. And of course, it changes. So I don't typically look to the previous years too much. When I build the list of 100 employers to watch for each year, it's based on the 10 opportunities that I send to my community every single week, Tuesday mornings, 5:15 a.m. I do take a break for the holidays. But I send those to my community because I want people to know that those opportunities exist. I lean on my 15 years of experience in recruitment. I lean on my master's in HR because I'm looking for the things that look kind of funky. And so then I share those every single week. So the 100 list comes out first quarter of the year. And what I'm going to do today is just pull the top, I don't know, 5, right? And I'm going to show you how to use the list. If you don't have it, don't hesitate to hit pause and come back to this. Matter of fact, save it because I don't want you to lose it. And then come back to this. Of course, I'll drop the link in the description. But I want to make sure, and this feels really high, and I'm not going to overthink this. So this is not going to be a highly edited video at all. I want to just get to it. So, and I'm not going to share my screen, right? You're going to grab this and you're going to follow along with me. So I'm looking at, let's just go with the first 5. And again, these are opportunities that I shared at the beginning of the year. So first quarter of the year, I am intentional about not repeating any employers, right? And I'm like, nope, there's another employer that's hiring and I don't want people to think it's just these 10 or it's just these 15. So I challenge myself every week, at least for the first 3 months. Sometimes it's for the first 6 months or so to pull together a list with fresh employers. Got it? All right. So number 1 on this list is 10 up. So what I'm going to do is just type in, because so many people ask me how I find these jobs. I find them from multiple locations, multiple sources. And then because I trust very few, I'm going to the company's website. I'm looking, right? How many roles are they hiring for? And then I kind of go from there. So the first company on this list is 10up, 10UP. I'm not the best with editing, but I will try to pop it somewhere on the screen. So you just put in a Google search, right? 10up and careers. On this page, you will see a lot. You will see sometimes benefits, right? For this particular company, they talk about the benefits: pay, time off and holidays, bonus opportunities, professional development budget. For me, professional development is huge. It goes beyond a budget, but we start with a budget, right? Health insurance, of course, right? We expect that. Annual all team summit. Fascinating. I wonder if they go any place like sunny and amazing with really good food. And then you start looking. So it looks like right now, 10up has 8 opportunities available, right? So there's full stack web engineer. They're promoting that one. So it's either new or maybe something that has been or they expect to be difficult to fill. They've got senior project manager for the Americas team. I'm just going to click on that one. And let's see. Okay. This particular organization does not share compensation information. So pay transparency for me is important, but not everyone cares. And there are different reasons, right? Why organizations do not subscribe to the philosophy of pay transparency across the board. We can get into that another day. But it's pretty simple. So we just pulled the one company and we know how many opportunities they have available, right? That's one part of it. The other thing I want you to do when you're here and on every one of these organizations' websites is see if there's an opportunity to join their talent community. So talent communities look a little different, right? Some you will put your information in and you create a job alert. That's not a talent community, but it is helpful. So if that's the only option that's available, go ahead and set up the job alert if it's an organization that you are interested in working for. All right. If it is not, don't even worry about it. The other thing I'll say is if there's a talent community available from a recruitment perspective, a sourcing perspective, oftentimes, not always, we will look to our in-house talent community first when maybe we know that we're going to prepare a role to be posted. If we know it's tough to fill, we'll want to see who has expressed interest or whose skills and experience align with what we're going to be looking for. So we will look at the talent community. Some organizations, I think, and I've worked for several in a recruitment capacity across multiple industries, some do a really good job of leveraging their talent communities. And I think it makes sense, right? There's value in that. You want to reduce time to fill. The value is in reaching out to the people who've already expressed interest in the organization and have the skills and experience you're looking for. So when we talk about keywords, it is super duper important that you have the right keywords within your resume, because when we go to conduct these searches, we are looking for those keywords, right? We'll scan for those, right? You want to make sure that is solid. There's so many reasons to have a resume that has the right keywords. That is one of them. Okay. So join the talent community if it exists. Another thing I will say is that LinkedIn is one of those places where I am a firm believer that I think far too many are overlooking the opportunities that exist there. So LinkedIn, I want you to go there. As a matter of fact, pause, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Let's get into the second one because then we'll talk about LinkedIn. So that's 10up, again, 10up.com. And I'll put these organizations in the description. Also, this list, again, was created first quarter of the year. The list I'm looking at now is the 2025 list, and I create these every year. So 1Password, the number one, the word password, one word, 1Password, careers. That is number 2 on the list. Let's see, if we click view open positions, and you're doing this with me, right? You have your list. Again, the link is down in the description. This company has, if I sort by remote US, so before I sort by remote US, because that is my focus, right? That is where I support clients, remote opportunities within the continental US. Let's say continental, but it does go beyond that. But so we have remote in the UK for 1Password, remote United States, Canada, remote UK, remote US, and then United States, Canada. So they've got this blend going on. My suggestion to the organization would be to just establish a bit of consistency because it feels kind of wonky. So if I'm looking for an opportunity in the US that's remote, it looks like I've got to click on maybe 3 different options. Okay, that's just me. So we're looking here at the organization, they have several opportunities available. They have G&A, they have go to market, they have technology. I'm just going to pull the, let's just pull a G&A role. How about we do that? Because it happens to be my space. So they have a senior HR business partner opportunity available. It's November 15th, 2025, FYI, just in case you're wondering. And I should probably stop moving around so much, right? So senior HR business partner, this is a 100% remote opportunity. They're looking for someone with 6+ years of experience working in the HRBP space, ideally within SaaS, so software as a service, or some other type of tech company. And I'm just scrolling. Compensation, US specific compensation for this role is going to be $137,000 to $185,000. That is solid, right? That's so when I talk about virtual six-figure mom, right? That goes back again when this started, and I was doing some work before then, but virtual remote work, right? Obviously, and then the six-figure mom, because there are opportunities that have been virtual for years, right? I've been remote for 15 years. There are opportunities that allow you to work 100% remote that are also six figures. All right, so great benefits, generous PTO policy. I have concerns around unlimited, so generous, I like. And listen, different strokes for different folks, right? I'm just saying. But 1Password is an organization that you might want to consider. In addition to that role, like I said, they have some go-to-market roles, they have some tech roles, or at least just one at the moment, but something to consider. And again, I'll pop the link in the description. The next opportunity, before we dive into that, so LinkedIn. A lot of you get heartburn, a little bit of agita when I start talking about LinkedIn, but there is so much value there. And I say that as, again, someone who's been in the space for so many years. When we are looking to fill certain roles, now not every role is going to require us to go to LinkedIn and start searching. Just not how it works. There are some roles we know that, we know someone who knows someone internally, or there will be no shortage of candidates if we post it, right? And there are different schools of thought around that, right? There are different reasons for us to go to LinkedIn. And one of them is to find top talent. The way to find the talent is by a keyword search, specifically your skills. We are not looking necessarily, and this is something that I think has changed over the years, but within the LinkedIn Recruiter tool, we are looking for the skills you have listed. So you know how earlier I talked about, keywords in your resume? Those are also very, very important on LinkedIn. And as of the recording of this, LinkedIn has just, I think, done a great job. And no, I don't work for LinkedIn. They're not paying me. I don't work on their behalf. I'm not even an affiliate, but LinkedIn, not opposed to becoming an affiliate. What my point is, it is a great tool to use in your job search. And so for these companies, if it's an organization you are interested in, how about you head to LinkedIn and you follow the organization? I want you to look at the people listed as recruiters. If that's the case, most organizations have that under their people tab. I want you to look. Maybe it's someone that you know. Maybe it's someone who knows someone you know. Maybe it's someone who you can just connect with and ask for a 15-minute chat. Will that always work? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it's worth a try, right? So I want you to do that. If there's an option to select I'm interested, and that would be under either about, their about tab, maybe under their jobs tab. I think I've seen it under insights, right? So there are different places that organizations have the option to place that. I want you to click it. If it's a place you're interested in working, obviously, go ahead and click it. And I'm saying that because it does signal to the recruitment team that you are someone they are interested or should be interested in connecting with for specific opportunities. Let me tell you, it makes a difference. And I say this because not every organization has unlimited InMails, right? Like we're not just going to reach out to someone if we don't believe they would be interested, they would be responsive, right? So when you've selected, I'm interested, that tells me, listen, this InMail is going to return a really like amazing candidate because they're interested, they have the skills and experience based on their profile, right? Um, so just some things to consider. So number 3 on the list is 360 learning. They have a lot of opportunities available. So I start by looking at location. 360 learning. I start by looking at location. I will say for this particular organization now, opportunities for remote employment are in the following areas: Berlin, Canada, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Cologne, maybe, London, Paris, and Spain. But if you are someone who is abroad, then certainly 360 learning might be the option for you. Number 4 on the list, hope you all are either taking notes or following along on your own, is AbbVie. So AbbVie, ABBVIE. And again, the name of the organization, careers, pop that into Google, and it's really that easy. I think sometimes we overthink it. Now I say it's easy, but it's also work, requires effort. I have a former client. We're not working together right now. I think she's all set, but we had a conversation and she said, Christina, I applied for 40 roles from your list of 100 employers. I know this list works, right? I happen to know it works. I'm pretty confident in these lists every year. So if I'm looking at AbbVie and I do a search by, let's see, location, it only allows me city and state. So I probably would not search by that way. If I'm looking for a remote opportunity, I'll just type in the word remote in the keyword search section. Got it? Again, that simple. And now I'm just going to scroll through. They have quite a few jobs that are remote. 6 pages worth of jobs that are remote. So statistical programming, a senior manager there, senior security engineer. Let's keep going. Statistician, right? A senior level. Site procurement. If you're looking in that space, there's a communications role. Let's see, district sales manager. I don't know about that one. That's not in the US. So let's scroll past that. Because it's okay. So my HR, and we're doing this real time. It says all genders. And I found that fascinating. I'm like, I don't think I've seen something like that for a US based role, which is why it caught my eye, but this is not a US based role. So, okay, so that's AbbVie, ABBVIE. And the last one we'll do today, and I'll come back and probably do these regularly because I think people don't, again, believe that remote opportunities exist. And they're just ways to get yourself in the door. It's not enough to apply and cross your fingers, right? Not in this current market. And I haven't found I take that back. I have found jobs for myself and clients where we just apply and ride with it. We don't have a referral, right? We are just going specifically off of our skills and expertise and believe that the value is there, right? The cover letter, if we include it, I'll do a whole video on that another day. I think I have one up on the Clock app. I'm just not my speed, never has been as a recruiter or as, and I'm talking a lead recruiter, or as a job seeker, just kind of not my jam. And I have thoughts about that. So we can tackle that another day. So the next one is Abridge, Abridge. Abridge. If you don't have the list yet, I need you to get it. Again, link is in the description. Um, this is one of those companies. Immediately, I go to the location. They have San Francisco remote and US remote. So I'm going to just click on US remote. There are two opportunities here. So some things I look for. This first opportunity that's listed is Sales Director, Commercial, Mountain Time, Pacific Standard Time. And so when I share roles in the weekly emails, I try to be intentional about not including those because my list is kind of all over the US, and that feels pretty limiting. And so that's the other reason why I think it's important for you to grab this list of 100 employers. There's a lot that I do not share in those weekly emails. I couldn't possibly share everything if I'm just sharing 10 roles, right? There's a lot I don't share, and I want you to have access to this list so that you can find these opportunities independently. It's not an exhaustive list. It's just a list of 100, but it's a list that provides a great start for your remote job search. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. I'm also a native New Yorker. So there are things that, like, I'm not one for fluff whatsoever. All right, so sales director, that's one role. If you're Mountain Time, Pacific Standard Time, this might be a role you are interested in. The other role is senior corporate counsel, so a legal focused role. Compensation 220 to 250 plus equity. Not too shabby. Again, 220 to 250 plus equity. They have offices in Mission District in San Francisco, the Soho neighborhood of New York, and East Liberty in Pittsburgh. But this particular position is remote. I will say that there is something here that I look for too when I share remote opportunities. The preference, blah, blah, blah. The preference in terms of location for the hire is either San Francisco or New York City. And so I've actually talked to people recently who talked about some of the challenges with landing remote roles in California and New York. I don't know that, like, because I've been in this space and looking for opportunities for so long, I don't know about, here's what I'll say. It's just different. It's different. We all know Cali and New York do their own thing, right? Like it's what it is. But there are plenty of opportunities. This happens to be one that prefers to have their individual in San Francisco or in the city. So if you're listening and you know someone, it's the other thing I'll say. If you know someone who is looking, have them grab the list of 100 employers and go through line by line. I know a ton of people are looking for opportunities right now in this market. So sharing is caring. That's what I'm doing here, right? I gain nothing from sharing these opportunities other than feeling fulfilled, like I help someone land their next opportunity. That is part of why I am in the recruitment space, specifically corporate recruitment, but that's why I'm doing it. So 13 paid holidays, flexible PTO for salaried employees. Very nice. 30 days sabbatical leave after 5 years of employment. I know a couple of organizations that do that. All right, so we've covered the top 5. I'll run through them. 10up, 1Password, 360 Learning, AbbVie, and Abridge. They will all be linked below. I just said sharing is caring. So what I need you to do, if you found this information helpful, is just like, comment, helpful, and subscribe. And of course, hit that share button because I'm sure you know someone who is looking for a remote opportunity. We just scratched the surface with this list. And of course, I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a fantastic rest of your day.